Story number 2, 1399 years. In the year 625 AD, there was a 25-year-old young man named Justin Brady who lived in the large town of Verna. On Thursday, April 11th, it was his 25th birthday, and he met with a 28-year-old pastor who has been a pastor for 5 years, and he spoke with him about how several damnable heresies have sprung up. He then mentioned about how several churches became apostates 300 years prior. Simon Powell, whom is the pastor of North Verna Church, told Justin about a time-traveling machine that he invented. Justin has been a Christian since April of 617 AD and was baptized at Verna Beach in May of 618 AD. For the past year, Justin struggled with people trying to manipulate him into buying into strange doctrines that made no sense. He shared this struggle with the pastor, and then the pastor taught him about how important it is to use discernment at all times. The pastor taught him about what red flags to look out for, and how to look for Bible verses to provide solid concrete arguments that destroy damnable heresies. Then after that, Justin no longer struggled with people trying to manipulate him into fluke doctrines. Then on Friday, April 12th, his next-door neighbor had some raisin bread with him and some tea, and it was all fun and games until the neighbor tried to get Justin to buy into the damnable heresy of Arianism, which is a damnable heresy that denies Jesus Christ's divinity. Then Justin confronted the next-door neighbor about the fluke heresy, and told him that Jesus Christ is truly divine, and that Arianism is a damnable heresy that is going to split hell wide open. But then sadly, Justin's neighbor attacked him and sadly, stubbornly held on to the phony doctrine of Arianism. After it was reported to government officials about how there were so many cases of people being attacked for refuting Arianism, the congregation of 240 people from North Verna Church went to the city of Fictional, which is the capital of the country of Pennsylvania, and started to a protest to get Arianism abolished from the country. Then on Monday, April 22nd, Joseph Gregory, whom is the leader of Pennsylvania, passed a law that abolished Arianism. As a result, anyone who preached Arianism would now be arrested for heresy. Then the congregation of 240 people went back home happy as they successfully carried out God's calling that He had for them, since Jesus Christ called them to start a peaceful protest in the country's capital to get Arianism abolished from the country. The pastor, whom was the leader of the protest, was pleased with how the congregation did a very good job. Then on Thursday, May 2nd, the pastor had a special assignment for Justin, and the assignment was for Justin to time travel to the year 2025 AD to see how much damage damnable heresies and apostasy will have on our societies in the future. When the pastor tapped in the year end, he put in 2024 by mistake, but did not hear, so instead, he just decided to have Justin time travel to the year 2024 AD. The date that he was going to time travel to was set to Thursday, May 2nd, 2024 AD. The pastor set the time machine to bring him back on May 9th. Justin went into the time-traveling machine, and then he was transported to the year 2024 AD. And he went into the small city of Verna, which is the same place as he lives in, but just 1399 years later. Justin found all of the new technology to be bewildering, so then he decided to experiment with some of it. He went to have his coins traded for 2024 money, and he received $1 million due to the coins being nearly 1400 years old. Justin made the decision to use his money wisely. He then checked into a motel that he would be staying in for a week. And then when he said that he didn't know what television remotes and streaming were, the guy who checked him in made fun of him and asked, "Were you living under a rock your whole life?" Then Justin said that he did not, and said that Justin came from a place that does not have those things. Then on the following day, which was Friday, May 3rd, he went to the beach and found that 80% of the women there were immodestly dressed, as they were wearing bikinis. Justin calmly confronted a 23-year-old woman named Kayla for being immodestly dressed, and then Kayla berated him, took the Lord's name in vain, and then cussed him out. And then Justin calmly told her that she needs to respect her elders, not use foul language, and not take the Lord's name in vain. Then Kayla threw a temper tantrum that is unimaginably harsh, and asked how he was her elder. Then Justin explains that he is her elder since he is 25 years old, while Kayla is only 22 years old. Justin was so grossed out by the immodesty on the beach that he went to a barren place on the beach to have a blast there. He enjoyed his time in the remote portion of the beach, and did the usual fun things that he usually does when he goes to the beach. Then, after about 3 hours, Justin saw a bowling alley, and he was curious about what it was. Then he went in and decided to give bowling a try. As he saw the pins, he instantly knew what the goal of the game is just by seeing the lane on the pins, even though the area where he came from had no bowling due to bowling not being invented yet at the time. But at that time, Justin rolled the first ball and got a strike, and then he thought to himself, cool. Then he bowled for one game and decided that he was having so much fun that he decided to buy 2 more games. Then those 2 games came and went, and he had a good game in all 3 of them. Then Justin checked out the menu of what to eat for dinner, and he ordered a personal pepperoni pizza and a sweet tea. He enjoyed the food, and then after that he left the bowling alley. Then on his way back to the hotel room, he asked a random person where is the nearest church, and then he just told him to Google it. Justin did not know what Google was, and then asked the stranger if he would like to go to church with him. Then the stranger said no and said that he is an atheist, and likewise did not believe in God. Justin told the stranger that atheism is a dangerous lie from Satan, and then provided evidence that proves God's existence. Then after that, Justin witnessed to the stranger, and the stranger got family saved. Justin then asked another stranger where the nearest church is, and then pointed him to Fairhaven Church. Then Justin went to the hotel room, and then he discovered how to open a platform called YouTube. After that, he then searched Christian content, and found the movie that is labeled Christian. He then decided to watch the movie, and then he stopped watching the movie about 16 minutes in, after he saw that a character in the movie took the Lord's name in vain by saying the infamous OMG phrase, after a car accident occurred. Then on the following day, which was Saturday, May 4th, Justin ate breakfast at a diner called Waffle House, and had a waffle with bacon and drank orange juice. Next, Justin went to a carnival, and when he was in the queue to ride the Ferris wheel, he heard the 17-year-old girl who was behind him planning to fornicate with her 16-year-old boyfriend. Then Justin told her that people should not have sex before marriage, since fornication is displeasing to the Lord. Then after that, the girl laughed at him for what he said, and she was very disrespectful towards Justin. Justin then told her that she should respect her elders, and that and then the girl falsely accused him of bossing her around. Justin enjoyed the rest of his trip to the carnival and had a lot of fun. Then on the following morning, on Sunday, May 5th, he went to the local church, and then the pastor of that church was teaching the damnable heresy of antinomianism. Justin rebuked the pastor for preaching antinomianism, and then after that, the heretic falsely accused Justin of preaching a so-called works-based salvation. Justin pointed out that he was not preaching salvation by works. Then Justin asked the heretic why the movie that was labeled Christian took the Lord's name in vain, and then the heretic claims that it was no big deal, when in reality it is a big deal. Justin walked out of the church disappointed that the preacher was a heretic. Justin then hopped to a different church, and then listened to a pastor who was preaching about the science of the end times. Justin then found out that in the second half of the 20th century, how the sexual revolution, the sinful practice called abortion, immodesty, and blasphemy becoming commonplace, a heck ton of movies and shows being filled with blasphemy, increase in profane songs that are filled with swearing and promote many forms of wickedness. The pastor then explained that abortion is murder and is thereby inexcusable. Next, he exposed the subliminal messages that are behind many of the mainstream secular songs, and then he pointed out that the vast majority of churches preach the damnable heresies and are lukewarm. He then mentions that the vast amount of churches being laden with heresies is a sign of the end times. Then, as the days went on, Justin saw firsthand how the times had gotten much worse. And then finally on May 9th, the time traveler brought Justin back to the year 625 AD. Then Justin told the pastor about how impressed he was about technological advancements, or about how technological advancements took place, and then he mentioned that he was not impressed, but felt heartbroken about how the 21st century society is a very worldly and how heresy abounds in the vast majority of the churches in that era. Then on Friday, May 10th, Justin went to the beach, and when he did, he ran there since he missed the type of beach where everyone there is modestly dressed, and that he is used to. He had a relaxing time on the beach, and he truly enjoyed it. Then in the next church service, the pastor preached a sermon about how important it is to use discernment, to see if what is being preached lines up with God's word. The pastor emphasized that the reason why it is important to use discernment when listening to preaching is due to damnable heresies infecting several churches. But throughout the large town of Vernon, the community was now more satisfied now that the damnable heresy of Arianism was now banned from their country. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this story. Have a nice day. Please subscribe to this channel. Please share this video, and goodbye.